Okay, so this explanation I will explain my final statistical application. So let's open it. Okay, this is our interface. So we start browsing CSV. Let's take world population CSV. Okay, this box is the dataset and shows all the values. In this box, we can edit the data types. So we can modify data types we have chosen from, for example, integer to double, and so on. Here we can compute a distribution to analyze the mean and the frequency of each observation or of each interval in the case of continuous distributions. So let's take GDP, this integer 32. Okay, each observation has a count, so, and this is the distribution. Okay, so if we want to change a data type, for example, let's change the GDP from integer 32 to double, we just click to this column, this row, and it asks to select the data type for this column. So let's take double, let's click OK, and now this column is double. Okay, so in order to plot distributions, we have this box. We can select our x-axis plot, for example, this column, and it asks to select the interval offset. So we can select how much would be the distance between each lower end and the upper end of the intervals. So the problem is if we choose too much little offset, for example 1, could be a problem in the contingency table, since the contingency table is has a limited space, and the space of each cell is calculated dynamically by doing the total length of the contingency divided by the number of intervals we have. So in that case, be not very understandable. So let's take a good offset like this and click OK. Another like this, and we go to the plot. Okay, so this is our contingency table. Those are the histograms of the contingency that are the same of the scatter plot box. So here we have the option to toggle the view coordinates. We can see the view coordinates. Now we cannot. This is the grid option, and this is the histogram altitude. So in order to see, understand better the histogram that are here, we can increase or decrease, because sometimes like these histograms could not be very visible. Here we have for the contingency table the option to show the absolute frequency or the relative frequency. Okay, so this is one little approximation error probably. And here are the instructions to the scatter plot, because the scatter plot is interactive. So we can, for example, with the mouse wheel, we can zoom the scatter plot. With the mouse left button, we can move. With the mouse right button, we can resize, and if we hold Control, we can move the viewport and resize and zoom in and out. Okay, so this is the basic functioning of this application. Um, so let's now plot a continuous distribution and a discrete. So for example, the GDP, the GNI, that is integer 32. All common of integer 32 are treated like discrete distributions. So if we now click draw, in order to draw in the contingency table, for reason of space, any discrete distribution will be converted to a continuous distribution with 5 intervals, and they are always 5. So if we draw plot, we notice that we have 5 intervals, and this is always for also for reasons of space. Now we notice that GNI is became double, and if we click now to if we reselect the GNI draw plot, now since it's double, it will ask to select an interval offset. So if we have an integer 32 column and we want to plot it with intervals chosen by me, we can first convert it to double. Okay, now this is double. And now we are able to select the interval offset and plot the two distributions. Okay, so this is the explanation and concludes the video.